year is 2026, the first NBA, Driving Dish NBA podcast episode of the new year. We are here. It is weird to think that 2006 was 20 years ago. It makes me feel insanely old. We no longer have MTV. That's also weird.
Have we really had MTV for the past 10 years, 15 years?
No, but it's still an odd thing to not have, at least as an option. Like
we grew up on the end of it.
But I want to watch reruns of ridiculousness. Like that's what MTV was.
That was what the channel was. Listen,
Bro,
if you wanted to watch nothing but Rob Dyrdek, boy, you were in MTV state. You were in the right place.
Dude, I'll tell you what, if you ever have time, listen to Rob Dyrdek talk about how he turned ridiculousness into a machine, like how he had it so set. He could record full seasons in like 2 hours. Yeah. He would go record 2 or 3 seasons in a day and not have to worry about it for months and then just go do it again. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he got it to like 30 some seasons technically. Like, it's a wild situation and system that he had in place. But that's I do appreciate Rob Dyrdek's mind for that, to be able to like streamline things so much because of his busy schedule that he can knock out, 40 episodes in 2 hours of ridiculousness.
Well, that was good for them for last as long as they did. Cause dude, that was controversial when it came out. Cause I mean, look, Tosh.0 was the original clip show. I think we all know that. And Tosh was killing on Comedy Central at the time.
What was the other one? Wasn't there another one on not Soap? Was it Soap? There was another like clip show with a comedian. I'll look it up. I'll find it.
I don't know. Unless you're talking about like America's Funniest Home Videos, if you really want to get back into it. I mean, that's the original one. That's still on. Believe it or not, that is still on right now. What's his name? The guy who played Alfonso Ribeiro, the guy who played Carlton in Fresh Prince, is the host of that show now.
Which is so funny, by the way. The thing that bothers me about America's Funniest Home Videos is it's so scripted that it comes off corny.
Well, because they're not home videos either anymore. I want that 90s, like, it needs to look like it got recorded on a camcorder.
Right. Whereas, like, Ridiculousness was more off the cuff, like, let it fly, could be a little more unhinged in a way, if that makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's also, being on MTV versus being on ABC, like, you got a lot more, little more leeway there. I mean, dude, those shows are on forever. I mean, because he had the whole run with it. Like, it was obviously from the Robin Big, and then didn't he have like, was it like the Fantasy was that a show, or was that just something he built? Like the Fantasy Factory,
Fantasy
what I'm talking
about?
That
was just a show of them just being crazy people in a building.
Yeah, I just remember that clip of that, of what's the girl's name? Chanel West Coast or whatever, getting drilled in the face with a dodgeball, dude. I mean, and it was like the old school dodgeball. So like, listen, again, we grew up with them.
He took her out.
Way to him.
He took her out, yeah. No, I completely agree, and I loved Fantasy Factory. I loved Robin Big. Like, I did enjoy those shows, but I also loved like Wild Boys and like the Jackass stuff. So like that all kind of meshed together, if that makes sense. Like the skater hurt yourself kind of do some stupid stunt kind of video show.
Yeah, I mean, that really genre was popular, right? Like that genre was super popular on MTV, right? You mentioned all the big ones. Like, even I jumped, like Viva La Bam is in that category. I mean, Bam was on Jackass too, but like that in that same kind of category, they're all super popular around that era. And I mean, like we knew what it was with MTV. Obviously, the stuff that goes without saying, like the TRLs, and the only thing that MTV I still feel like that they had going that was relevant, and it would be that one, but it was one night a year is when they had the video awards. Like, more people were tuned into those, I feel like, than we were still given credit for, because I mean, they were again huge growing up, and then in the 90s and 2000s, like that was a legit event. I mean, even going all the way to 20, I mean, Taylor Swift and Kanye West, like that was an MTV award show. Like, that was in 2009. It wasn't like it just was early in the millennium. But needless to say, it's been kind of downhill for a while. All right, what's the other one?
The Soup. Do you remember The Soup with Joel McHale? That was a good one.
Okay. That's on real late, right?
Yes, it was on E, and it was more celebrity-ish focused, but there was a comedy twist to it. I enjoyed that one, too. I did enjoy that one, too.
I like Joel McHale, so I feel like I might have given it a shot just off the strength of that. I gotta be honest, I don't think I ever watched an episode of it, so I don't really have any vibe on it at all. But I do know what you're talking about. I remember that being on late, like seeing a few commercials for it or something.
Yeah, no, it was a very similar to Tosh.0 kind of vibe, but because it was on E, it was more celebrity-ish, if that makes sense. Yeah.
No, it definitely makes sense. And I mean, like, dude, pulled by you. I'm not gonna lie. When you said soap at first, I'm like, what on earth is he talking about? But like, all right, yeah, soap right there.
Soap is a comedy show from the 70s. Soup is a Tosh.0 similar style show on the E network. Shout out Ryan Seacrest. So we also have some milestones to look for in 2026. That will disappear like MTV. The first one, just to bring up, James Harden's for points and assists. He needs 126 points to pass Shaq for number 9 in scoring. Once he passes Shaq, he'll become the 9th, and he'll need 1,400 points to move to the next one, which obviously doesn't look like it'll happen this season. That's kind of a lot to get to. Last month, Harden also passed Andre Miller for 12 all-time in assists. He currently has 8,553. He needs 414 more this season to pass Gary Payton at number 11, and not much more after that to pass Isaiah Thomas at number 10. So he could maybe by next year get himself into, the top 10 in assists, and then top 9 for points.
Yeah, Harden's statistical greatness is probably overshadowed by the fact that he plays in a generation with LeBron, with KD, with Steph Curry. But Harden's out here racking up these numbers too. And like, we're going to talk a bit more Clippers after the break and go a little more in depth, and Harden, a huge part of the turnaround out there.
And I do want to bring something up, because as we were prepping for this show and kind of talking off mic, we realized this. I don't know why I assumed this. I assumed Steph was going to be way higher on the points side of things. Right now, he's 24th. And so from a James Harden perspective, like, James is 12th.
Yeah.
Like, significantly more points, like almost 2,000 more points than Steph Curry, which is surprising. Like, I would have assumed Steph is way higher on that. Westbrook is actually higher than Steph as well.
Yeah, I think the 3-point record is probably what really skews that as well, because like, and again, that's where I think even it gets lost a little bit. Like, Harden broke Ray Allen's record too. Like, Harden is well past Ray Allen. Like, he's number 2 firmly on the 3-point list. Yeah. It just doesn't help that the guy that he's chasing is still active right away. I obviously think with Harden too as well, of course, the playoff thing comes into play there. Then that will always, kind of hamper his narrative a little bit here. But like, dude, I mean, as someone who post his Philly tenure was not out on Harden, but kind of thought he was on the downslope.
Thought he was done, yeah.
It's pretty impressive what he's done here with the Clippers and how much he's, provided stability to that organization at a time that's been quite volatile. And he's going to run up those numbers for sure this season. Like you said, I break some of those, and we could likely see that next season. It doesn't seem like he's on the verge of retirement here. And I wonder, and again, the playoff thing will always be in the background, and I feel like unless he just goes on a run here late, but unfortunately because of that, I do wonder, as we get further removed from James Harden's career, if there isn't more appreciation for some of these numbers that he starts to break.
Yeah, well, and I really think there should be, because like that right there was surprising to me. Obviously Kevin Durant's ahead of him, but Kevin Durant and LeBron are the only 2 active players in the NBA that are higher than Harden right now. He would be number 3, and that is the weird stat of the day, I guess. Another one that's kind of weird if you look at it, DeMar DeRozan isn't very far off Steph Curry either, which is wild. So another stat, since we just kind of mentioned him, Kevin Durant, points, field goals, and 3-pointers. He needs 134 points to pass Chamberlain for number 7 on that list that we were just referencing. He needs 621 more points to pass Dirk as well. So that is also kind of in play. Durant had 346 points in the month of December. So there is probably a real good chance that he does that this year. He needs 187 more field goals to pass Elvin Hayes, number 10 on the field goal list. And then he needs 37 more threes to pass Jason Terry for number 11. And then 9 more after that to pass Vince Carter for number 10. So Durant's also on his way.
Yo, for sure. For all these, I mean, in terms of the scoring list, which obviously I think is the most important here, the one that people are going to flock to the most, like you said, he'll more than likely jump both Wilt and Dirk this season to get all the way up to 5. Realistically, like, he's going to be in play. Michael Jordan is 5 with 32,292. He's going to be in play to break that, if not this year, next year. I think once you get to Jordan, like, there does start to be a little bit of separation. Like, Kobe's at 33. So I definitely think that's still in play here. 33,643 for Kobe at 4. After that is where you start to get to a point where it's like Karl Malone has 36,900. You know, Kareem's got 38,000. LeBron, obviously, he's not catching LeBron. For some perspective there, LeBron is at 42,000. LeBron's at 31,000. Or KD's, excuse me, at 31,000. But I think there's a real chance he gets up to 4 and jumps Kobe. Like, I don't know if he's going to be Karl Malone, but like, and again, you know, unfortunately with KD, you do have to factor the injury in here a little bit this year. But I mean, he's going to be playing meaningful basketball with Houston. He doesn't look any sign of slowing down, really. Like, the jumper is as pure as ever. So yeah, I could see him getting all the way up to 4 there.
Yeah. And that would be obviously a huge feat for him as well. A few other ones that we can hit real quick. Westbrook, we already kind of mentioned he can move up the list on assists and points. Steph as well for points on what we were just talking about, could potentially move into almost above Tim Duncan by the end of the season, because he's averaging about 240 points a month at this point. Another one is Jokic, who we're actually going to talk about a lot today because of his injury. That's going to keep him out for, I think, at least 4 weeks-ish at this point. But he only needs 2 more triple-doubles to pass Oscar Robertson for number 2 all-time in triple-doubles. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty wild to see.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can do that this year. I mean, he is a triple-double machine, so in theory, if he gets back on the court, we would get that. But obviously, this injury is going to be, we got to see what it looks like first.
I mean, him doing that as a big man is just absurd. And I mean, there's been a list of absurd Jokic lines this year. Because, I mean, obviously, Oscar Robertson, now Russ, but like Oscar Robertson was the triple-double guy you always think of. Obviously, most famously averaging a triple-double for an entire season and then holding that record for a long time. To hear, again, a big man in that conversation, that's, you know, it's that's the stat that jars you a little bit more, where you're just, wow, like what are, again, if you talk about these history books, they're going to be something special with Jokic one day, no doubt about that. Obviously, we're going to talk a whole lot about his injury and more here as well coming up on the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kevin Rafuse. Joining me as always, my co-host, Justin Cousart.
I didn't pull a stat because I feel like we just hit a bunch of stats that are going to happen.
That was smart. We're on the same page here. I'm glad that. No, I mean, we want to pull the stat. Listen, this is our 12th year doing this podcast. Yeah. You know, the first episode came out. Our official 12-year anniversary will be more around March. It was the beginning of March is when the first episodes dropped. But yeah, so like, you know, is when I type in the recording for this and it's like 1/3/26 and it's like, man,
wow.
It seemed like I remember seeing 14 and 15 on those episodes, and seeing 26 is pretty crazy. Definitely not taking that for granted. So we appreciate you guys locking in with us as long as you have. Leave us a review on iTunes, good or bad. I'll read them on the podcast. If you're not an Apple user, Google Play Store, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Player FM, anywhere you find a podcast, you can find us.
Yep, and we're on YouTube. Just search Drive a Dish NBA podcast. You can subscribe, get video versions of the podcast. Obviously, at the end of the episodes, we do a little Immaculate Grid. You can watch along and judge us for forgetting certain players. And subscribe, you'll get notifications when new episodes are coming out.
Now, a word from our sponsors.
So let's dive back in with the the Clippers here for a second. The Clippers are on a tear. They're on a 6-game win streak, 6-4 in their last 10. And it is mainly because Kawhi Leonard is cooking right now, to say the least. And James Harden is also complementing that with his amazing playing as well. I guess, before we get too much more into it, it's awesome to see Kawhi playing at a level that is elite again, because I feel like we hadn't seen it in a minute. But I guess at the end of the day, the main conversation comes down to, like, does this signal that the Clippers are re-entering a race in the West, or have they already dropped too far to maybe build themselves back up to a spot where we should consider them a contender?
No, I think they're totally re-entering. I mean, again, contender may be a push, but re-entering the race in the West, sure, they absolutely can re-enter the race. I mean, as we're recording this today, they're 2 back from the Blazers. They're 2.5 back from the Grizzlies. I don't think either of those teams are exactly jumping off the page where you can't catch them. Like, look, they got some work to do. I mean, even with winning 6 in a row, they're still 12-21 right now. Like, it's impressive that they've dug themselves out of that bottom to the point now where they're already, I mean, they have the same record as Utah, but they're ahead of Dallas now. They're well ahead of Sacramento and New Orleans at this point, and have put themselves back in that play-in position. Now, for some perspective, at the same time, they're also 9 wins back currently of Minnesota, for 6. That gets a little tougher to make up, I think. Maybe you hope Phoenix loses some steam. The Warriors have sort of figured it out, but, like, have they fully?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but even then, like, they've got a 6-game head start on you. But this looked to be a lost season where I think most NBA fans were sitting here going, oh my God, if they finish like bottom 5, is OKC about to get another pick like this in a super loaded draft? So I think the league can breathe a collective sigh of relief there a little bit. I do think the Clippers can pull themselves back into play-in position. Can they contend out of there? I don't know. I mean, we've seen Miami make the finals from the play-in position, but in a loaded Western Conference, yeah, the idea of having to win 2 must-win games and then getting either Oklahoma City or San Antonio or maybe Denver, depending on, again, we'll talk Jokic here in a little bit, but like how those standings all pan out. So they've cut themselves out and give themselves a lot of work to do. But I say all that to say, they were really good last year. If they start finding that form again, who's to say they can't make like life miserable on someone? I'm not about to make them a contender, but like, could I totally see them winning a series or two if they get out of the play-in? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Why not? Like, if Kawhi's going to play like this, it's really hard to argue with it. I mean, the last 5 games, first off, crazy that his career high is 55. Again, you want to talk about stats from earlier in the show. I just thought that might have been a little higher. But he put 55 in that win against Detroit. But he's the only player in a 5-game span to have 50, 40, and 90 shooting splits, win all of his games. The only other person to do that was Kobe. So obviously in great company there. More importantly, though, just from forget all the numbers, from an eye test perspective, Kawhi just looks healthy. Like Kawhi's attacking the rim. It's not like he's just not like he's always been a good 3-point shooter and obviously an excellent mid-range shooter, but it's like he's just knocking down jumpers. Like Kawhi is getting off the bounce. He's attacking the rim. He's dunking. Like that's to me where I go, hey, if Kawhi Leonard, who notoriously has never been healthy in recent years, if he's like this and he trusts his body and he's truly healthy and can keep this up, like it's that reminder that when Kawhi Leonard has been healthy, he's been in the conversation for best player in the NBA. You just kind of forget about that all the time because then every time it gets going and shuts down, certainly we're at the peak of it right now. Because I mean, yeah, he's been brilliant. There's no way around it. I mean, you want to pin it down to one person. That's the biggest one. It's their superstar is playing like a superstar.
Right. Well, and to your point, we were talking about this earlier. They're in the last 6 games in this 6-game win streak that they've got going on. They're the number 1 offensive rated team and the number 1 defensive rated team. Yeah. And to that, Kawhi's plus minus compared to the rest of the league in those 6 games is insane. He's a where is he? He's a plus per game average. He's a plus 19.5. The next is going to be the next that's not the Clippers, I guess I should say, is going to be like a Luke Garza from Boston, who's a 13.5, but is also only playing like 20 minutes a game and, contributing on the side. Not to fully discredit Luke at all, but that just shows how much, Kawhi's doing for the Clippers right now.
They've also been shooting the ball a lot better, specifically from 3. Give CBS Sports credit for the stat, but they were the first 27 games of the season, They're 20th in 3-point attempts and 20th in 3-point percentage. They're tied for 7th right now, and they're up to 3rd in percentage made during the last 6 games. I mean, they're scorching. They're hitting 41.2% in their last 6 games. Kawhi, we talked about, has been great, but over 38.5% during this stretch. Brook Lopez is doing that. Batum is doing that. John Collins is doing that. Kobe Sanders, who's given them a lot of good minutes off the bench. And maybe that's a benefit of the youth infusion. They don't have many young guys, but he's looked fresh. Niederhauser's looked fresh more than maybe some of these other guys have. The ironic part is that Harden, who's been great for them all season, it feels like carrying the points. He's the one who's cold from behind the arc right now. He's only shooting around 30% during this stretch, but I mean, they're certainly firing there. And then to that defensive point, like you mentioned, they're first in the league right now at defending the 3-point line. They're 4th overall in holding their opponents to only 31 attempts per game right now. A little bit of that is with injuries, I think. Derrick Jones Jr. is back. He's a good defensive player. But they're going to get a boost here as well with Zubac's coming back. He was expected to be out a few weeks with that ankle injury. He basically turned it into a 2-week rehab and is ready to rock. So, I mean, that'll certainly give them a boost. I mentioned Niederhauser, who's been great for them, really, kind of in that absence. I wonder if they don't try to find some minutes for him at some point. That's going to be difficult for Ty Lue. You're not going to obviously kick Zubats out of the lineup. That's insane. But I'm interested to see that with the young guys going forward, because we talk about Chris Paul getting waived, you talk about Bradley Beal getting hurt. They had to play these guys essentially, and give them credit. They've given them solid minutes.
Well, and you go back and you look at the schedule to be like, what, who have they played in the last 6 games? And it's some easier teams, but a lot of teams that they won against were big wins. I mean, 128 over the Rockets. They beat the Lakers. Held them to 88 points, which is kind of wild. And then they beat the Pistons, who, number 1 team in the East. They got some big wins. They got monster wins against teams that you would think they should beat, like the Kings. No offense to the Kings, sorry. And
they should be the Kings. That's not offensive. Yeah. The Kings lineup. Shout out to my guy Vince. I was talking to my guy Vince, who's a huge Sacramento fan. He's been on the podcast for Vince Silva. I just was laughing with him the other day. That Kings roster is an abomination. There is no planet any parts of that roster should be together. So you just kind of got to laugh at it. Dennis Schroeder was drawing with Luka the other night. You just got to just laugh at it. That's all you can do.
Bro, come on. But to wrap it up, big win against the Kings, big win against the Jazz, as you should. Now today, by the time you listen to this, it'll already be over. But today they play the Celtics. They go up against the Warriors. They go up against the Knicks. That's a 3-game stretch that is gonna suck a little bit. But if they can come out and win 2 of those 3, you're gonna be feeling real good.
Yeah.
So, it's awesome to see the Clippers turning around. It's awesome to see Kawhi healthy like that, because like you said, that really shows his potential when he's not dealing with an injury. And hopefully that's what we get for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And again, one last point with Harden before we kind of shift gears a little bit and go to Denver is that, again, Harden is 36 years old and he's averaging almost 26, just a tick shy, 25.9 and 7.9 rebounds this season. We're going to give him the gentleman's roundup and say he's averaging 26 and 8 this season. Again, when you just look at his, he was excellent at points in Philly, especially on the assist perspective. He was averaging double-digit assists his entire time in Philly, but it did. As he got on the other side of 33, there were concerns about the max money, and that's fair. And especially, obviously, given his playoff situation, that always makes it weird, as I talked about at the beginning of the episode. But, dude, Harden's been brilliant this year. He really probably hasn't gotten enough credit for it. So, again, shout out to him, who's been a beacon of stability, kind of, and weirdly hope during what's been, we ain't got to recap everything that started the Clippers season this year. It's been up and down, to say the least.
Right.
But good for them to be talking way more about wins and losses right now than any of the off the court things.
No, I completely agree with you. So I guess that switches us over to the Nuggets a little bit here, and the injury that we are dealing with Jokic, because it looked pretty bad. He suffered a knee hyperextension. He wasn't putting any weight on it. It was terrifying. You really thought we lost what could have been an amazing season from Jokic. But as of now, it's just he's out a minimum of 4 weeks. We'll see what that looks like. The ligaments are intact, but he's out of line the lineup for a little bit. The Cavs did just beat the Nuggets the other day too, so that could be a sign of what the Nuggets might be dealing with a little bit for these 4 weeks. Hopefully, it isn't too much of an impact to the team. Jamal Murray's going to have to step up. That's really just all it is at that point for the Nuggets to get through this time without Jokic.
Yeah, you are thankful that he didn't tear his ACL, like full stop. That's what it comes down to here. So that the Nuggets are going to get Nikola Jokic back at some point this season. And I mean, honestly, like, again, be slow with this. We're in January. There's no reason to rush back from this. We know what type of expectations the Nuggets have. But, even the other night, on New Year's, he was moving around pretty well, like post-injury. Like, he wasn't really using crutches too much. So, again, this is pretty much the best case scenario in what was a freak injury, essentially. I mean, it was against the Rockets. Like, his own defender just kind of stepped on him, and it was, just an accident, really. It was nothing really dirty or malicious or anything, just an unfortunate play. Jokic has been pretty healthy his whole career. I think that's been one of the big things for him as well. Again, they're going to have, you're right, they're going to have to survive in about a month. I wonder if they don't have to make a move because it's the double whammy now. Like, normally I would be like, oh, you're fine. You just got to stay afloat for a month. Like, it's not the end of the world. But Valančiūnas is missing 4 weeks now too. And I'm like, all right, well, there goes my stopgap center to kind of hold things up a little bit.
Yeah.
You do got to wonder if I don't exactly like making emergency trades. I don't feel like that's ever really good for business when you're trading from a position of desperation right now. But without Valančiūnas, I don't really know where exactly like the help is coming from. I mean, are you about to have Aaron Gordon play center for,
right?
Who else is on that roster?
I mean, you might have to, honestly. I mean,
I'm not having Aaron Gordon play the 5 for a month, though. We're getting killed out here. I mean,
yeah, you worked.
That really is going to be that's the big question here to me is what are they going to do to survive, and what does this market look like now? Valančiūnas is out with a calf strain. But right, like, you want to talk about this not being, and I mean, even Aaron Gordon, we talked with him, like, he's been dealing with a little bit of hamstring here. I don't think that's as serious, but yeah, I don't really know what they're gonna do here right now. I mean,
you gotta figure it out. It's just hold on, get as many wins as you can. Like you don't necessarily have the easiest schedule coming up. I mean, you got the Wizards and Hornets, and Wizards twice, actually, I should say, and Hornets in there, but like, Nets are tomorrow's game. You got the Sixers, Celtics, Hawks, Bucks, Pelicans, Mavericks. Cooper Flag probably so excited he doesn't have to deal with Jokic right now. He's probably like, oh, cool, I can go eat now. But then you got Lakers, Bucks, Pistons, Clippers, all before February. So yeah, no, it's not going to be the easiest schedule going into it. You just, at this point, I think it is look at the standings and see where, see how much you can stop the hemorrhaging, I guess, or stop the bleeding. And I know that sucks, but that's just kind of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll get lower than 7, even if everything goes wrong. And even then, like, they've got enough. I mean, they're 5.5 up on the Warriors right now. I don't think they're totally going to implode during this stretch. They're going to get Braun back, which helps too. Yeah, beyond that though, like, right, it hurts when, I still think they're a better team than the Lakers. I'm not worried about that. Regardless of where they end up seating wise, but right, like, it hurts when you start to think about, the play-in or, the home court advantage, when it's like, if you want to try to keep up with OKC, keep pace with Houston, who's starting to figure things out a little bit. It looks like, obviously, keep pace with San Antonio. San Antonio is going to deal with their own injury that we'll talk about a little bit with Wemby and Ballin and Fallin. But, yeah, I mean, they're already 5-5 in their last 10. Like, I'm not suggesting that I'm worried about Denver being in the play-in game, but it just, right, because this is the Western Conference, it just is going to make your life come harder come April and May and all that. I don't know. Either way, definitely.
It could give you a matchup that you're not necessarily wanting to get to, but you might be.
And I mean, look, with Jokic playing the way he's playing, this Denver team is trying to win now. Like, you're maximizing these windows. Jokic is playing MVP level basketball this season. Of course, that may now come into play with the 65 game award, or the 65 game rule, I should say. But yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing to not see one of your main guys on the floor. I think Denver's going to be fine long term. Like, I'm not hitting the panic button. Like, this is unfortunate, but it's not like crippling in a year where they're going for a title.
Well, and I guess my question to you would be, with last year's playoff result for the Nuggets being what probably would be considered a disappointment, and then you come into this year and potentially lay another disappointing egg if it doesn't work in your favor because of this injury. Like, do we start a conversation at that point? Like, does it become a thing?
No, I don't know is the short version. I think this year's team is better than last year's team. I also think last year's team went out in 7 to the eventual champion and looked really good in doing it. Yes, I guess that's disappointing. I think it's disappointing more because of how the seeding had it break. Like, that felt like the conference finals. Like, to me, that OKC Denver series, like, those were the two best teams in the Western Conference last year when push came to shove. It would be disappointing because I think there's just, again, I'm more excited about this Denver core than I've been in a little bit. Like, I like the refreshes they made this offseason. Like, it did feel like last year they were trending down, where, no, I fully think they're a very real threat to win the finals this year and still are. Like, I don't think that's going to go away. If they go out early in the first or second round, I think it is disappointing for them, given the fact that I think they have a title chance at hand. Like, to me, it's conference finals or bust minimum, but I feel like if you're Denver, we should be feeling like this is title or bust.
And do you think Nuggets still, with this injury, are number one team to potentially knock off the Thunder?
Yeah, for sure. If we're talking specifically Thunder, I worry about that San Antonio matchup is starting to loom large. Like, at that point, again, we talked about this a little bit last week, but it's like San Antonio's 3-0 against the Thunder. Like, at some point, I am going to look at that and be like, maybe that's a more direct threat. But do I think Denver is the second best team in the Western Conference? Yes, I do.
I would also say it's worth mentioning the Spurs side of things. They're only 4.5 games behind the Thunder right now. Yeah. Like, they are right there, 25-9. I think them and the Thunder and the Pistons are the only teams left with single-digit losses.
Yep.
Spurs 8-2 in their last 10. Like, they've definitely hit their stride. I know there's a Wemby injury. That doesn't seem to be too bad anyway, so we're okay. But yeah, I would be interested to go back and look at the Spurs Nuggets matchups and see what those results have looked like, because that also could be, for the Spurs side of things, feeling real good. But if they just match up bad against the Nuggets and Jokic, like, they also could get knocked off early. Although I know they don't have playoff experience with this team, really. But you're the number 2 team in the West right now by at least 3 games over the Rockets. So that also is speaking highly of the Spurs and what I think we are going to have from them as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, that matchup is gonna be. I mean, I want that matchup. I'm like looking at the seeding, trying to like scheme ways into getting San Antonio down to 4. I need to get San Antonio down to 4 because I don't think OKC is gonna get knocked out of 1. I also don't know if San Antonio is gonna get knocked down to 4.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get that in the conference finals. God, and that's the thing is, like, man, OKC, if you got Denver second round again and you got San Antonio or Houston, if Houston continues to figure it out the way they have, like, you're going to earn it. You're going to have as good of a second round. I mean, depending how the Knicks finish, and boy, that's a big look at me going to assumptions because I'm already penciling the Knicks into the finals. I mean, there's an argument that whoever OKC goes through in the second and third round might be better than the Knicks.
I could have this wrong. I think the Spurs and Nuggets have only played once this year so far.
I'll have their schedule up. Let me pull the schedule up real quick.
If that's the case, the Spurs won that game.
They should have 3 more then. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising. Let me see. Spurs and Denver. Yeah, they only have the one on November 28th. They with Spurs won 139 to 136. Did it go to,
was that overtime? Was that an overtime one?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if it says overtime on this stat, though. I could totally be off there. It might be.
So it's worth mentioning the Spurs will play the Thunder again on January 13th. Sorry, as I'm just going through to see when they played the Nuggets. Nuggets March 12th. We might not have a matchup for a while. Holy moly.
Yeah. No, yeah, March 12th, and they got a bunch late. They got two late ones. The last game of the season, April 12th, is Denver San Antonio, and then April 4th, before that is at 3:00 is Denver San Antonio. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Seeding could be decided. Obviously, Jokic is going to be back for them, so that's cool. That'll be good to see.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We'll get an idea of what that could look like if they do end up hitting, matching up depending on standings. Man, oh man, the Spurs. I'll tell you what, though. If it lays out where the Spurs are playing the Nuggets and then the winner of that game goes up against the Thunder, if the Spurs knock off the Nuggets, they're going to be feeling real good going into that game against the Thunder. And if I'm the Thunder, I'd be worried about that momentum.
They should be. The Spurs have no fear of the Thunder. And that's the most important thing is like the Spurs feel like they should win now. And that I think is more like that belief is important. A lot of my holdup with younger teams that haven't been there in the playoffs is it's like, look, it is a different animal. It's a different mentality. Like that seasoning matters. I think that seasoning benefited Oklahoma City big time last year where you worry about that with San Antonio, but like they don't look scared. Like if there's anything I've seen from San Antonio right now, they are not scared of anybody, and that's huge. Dude,
and that makes where was it? February 4th. That February 4th game so important for the Thunder.
Oh, well, I agree. I agree mentally.
That's what I mean. That is the last time you will play them for the regular season.
Yep.
If you lose to the Spurs another time on February 4th, you have all the rest of the season to think about it till you match up with them in the playoffs. Dude, that's a long time to be sitting on that from February all the way to, end of April, potentially May, depending on how it works out. Like, that's a long time. And
we've seen it where regular season doesn't matter, but you're right. If they lose 4 games to San Antonio, like I'm not saying it's must win for OKC, but I feel like just get one. You gotta give me one. I don't care about the rest. Give me one.
Both teams are talking about that in the locker room. Thunder are like, bro, we don't play them for the rest of the season. We need to make a statement now. And the Spurs are like, let's shut them out.
Yep.
And then they got to sit with it all season until we play them in the playoffs. Like they would have to sit with that. Oh man, that February 4th game is gonna be good.
Yeah, must see TV without a doubt. All right, who's balling, who's falling? Our NBA version of the stock market. We always like start with the good for the bad. And so I'll start with Ballin this week. We got LeBron James turning 41 years old. More importantly now, post last night, he scored 30 points in the Lakers win last night. He now has the record for the most points in a game by a 41-year-old. Justin, do you want to guess who the number 2 and number 3 spot on this are?
Is Vince on it?
Vince is actually on this list. So the top 10, shout out to Crazy Stats for this. There's the top 10 games guys can appear on it multiple times. Vince Carter's actually on this 3 times. Ironically scored the same number of points in this. He's tied for essentially 4th. He scored 21 points 3 times.
Wow.
January 28th, 2018, December 29th, 2018, and March 4th, 2019. Vince is actually 42, so he's in second for the 42 with 21 right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the LeBron James age thing has to stop now that we got Phillip Rivers playing football at 44.
Stop it. Phillip Rivers was chilling at home with his 14 kids until he got for 3 full seasons.
And elected to come back and get absolutely destroyed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm just saying.
A bunch of teams too. That's how you know Phil's a real sicko because he came back against those 3 defenses.
Wanted that.
But
again, but to be fair, like he probably was like talking about coming back, thinking like, oh, I could potentially make this team have a playoff run, like because they were when Daniel Jones got hurt, they were in it. Like they were the number 1 team.
They were, but this isn't an NFL podcast, so you're going to guess the other 2 players who you think have more than 21 points.
Did Dirk get to 40?
No. It's not Dirk's, or he's not top 10 at least. I think he might have been playing, but he's not top 10 in the scoring.
I'm trying to think of other older players who.
I'll give you a clue. The guy who's in second is on this list 5 times.
Wade didn't get to 40, did he?
Wade didn't get to 40.
He's on it 5 times, so it was
one is hilarious in a good way, but you wouldn't expect it.
I don't know because Vince is the only one I ever feel like there was a storyline about his age.
So LeBron is now the record at 31. The number 2, and then at that 21, he did it twice with 21 with Vince, so he's tied there. And then he also had 2 games of 19 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the previous record holder. He had 25 points on April 19th, 1988 at 41. He had 21 in 2 games in 89 and 19 in 2 games in 89. Number 3 on this list with 24 points on April 9th, 2023 at 42 years old, Udonis Haslem. The Miami OG dropped 24 points.
I remember that. Yes, yep. I forgot. I should have known that. That's such like a random nugget of knowledge to know too.
Dude, good
that's
for you.
Right. Udonis
at 40. Udonis is close to 43 when he dropped that too. Like he was 304. He was 42 years old in 304 days. So like, he was getting there for sure.
You know that man was huffing and puffing down that court. Holy moly.
Wow. No doubt about it. But shout out to LeBron again against the Grizzlies last night. 31 points. Happy 41st birthday. Long live the king. All that.
Yeah, no, for real. I just, Phillip Rivers. So
no, we're not talking about Phillip Rivers. Who's balling for you?
I didn't do Ballin yet. I just X'd out of it thinking I was done. Ballin for me is the NBA Christmas Day games, who apparently drew the highest U.S. ratings in 15 years. They had 47 million viewers. That's 5 different games. Obviously, a lot of social media engagement as well. So good for them. Maybe I missed it, but I feel like there wasn't a Christmas Day jersey this year.
No, there definitely weren't Christmas Day jerseys this year, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
I do like those. I liked all the Christmas sneakers too, as always.
Yeah, they should get into that.
This is huge for the NBA, though. I mean, number one, as we talked about last week when we broke the Christmas Day games down, the quality of games were excellent. Like, you have 5 really good games for the most part. Like, with all the marquee teams, like, that's exactly what the NBA is asking for. Where I'm impressed is, again, it's the fact that they got to compete with the NFL now. Like, I know the NFL games are on Netflix, but the NFL largely, like, they're going to get the majority of eyes in America first. So for the NBA to be putting up these high ratings, that's encouraging going forward. And it builds off good numbers on opening night. It builds off great numbers for Game 7 in the finals last year. Like, the audience is there. Just keep the product good.
I'm just curious if the Dunk at the Halls viewership is counted in this. I don't know if you saw that. The Knicks and Cavs game was cartoonized and put on Disney Plus, I think it was.
No, I love that. It should.
I do too, but I also don't. And it's the same reason I didn't like the Monsters Inc. one that they did of the
it was the
Eagles Chargers.
Yep.
The only reason, and I'll say this again, basketball is a little bit different because it wouldn't give it away. The problem is they had Mike and Sully on each side of the ball.
Right.
For football. But who Mike and Sully was changed based on how the play was going to go.
Right.
So once you realized that, you knew what was happening because they played it at a delay. So, like, if Saquon was Mike, when they line up, you're like, oh, Mike's getting they're doing a run here. And then if Jalen Hurts was Mike, you're like, oh, this is going to be a bomb pass that probably is going to be completed. And then same thing for defense. If it changed around, you kind of notice the trend. And I know it's for kids, but like, that was annoying because it was like, well, I know Quinn likes watching this, and at least I'm getting some football in, and she's enjoying it. But I'm kind of able to predict what's going to happen based off the changing of the
It's not for you, though. That's the point, dog. They're not making the Monsters Inc. broadcast for you.
But I got to watch it. The parents got to watch it.
Yeah,
nothing's worse than watching.
It's watchable. Was it watchable?
No, nothing's worse than watching Sullivan absolutely destroy your team.
Well, that's different. Yeah, no, listen, I don't want to talk about it. I gotta watch Jalen Hurts' Mike Wazowski throw his 5th interception of the night.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, what is happening here? So that was my only beef with it. But I do like that because it at least makes it a way for kids to kind of be into it. And like with it being Stitch and stuff for Dunk the Halls, like I know Quinn would have been into that if we had watched it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just, more eyes on the game. You got to start the fans while they're young. You know what I'm saying? Then they graduate to the Christmas Day games and become full, NBA heads like us.
Yeah, Daisy Duck on the sidelines reporting. Did an interview apparently with Adam Silver.
I want to go watch that, low-key.
How do you think that's serious? There's got to be a clip of that. Daisy. Well, not Daddy Duck. That's gonna give me something.
Whoa! Yeah, let's not go on that one. We'll keep that search off the server. In the meantime, Fallin for me is Victor Wembanyama, who we mentioned a little bit earlier, dealing with a knee injury. Is day to day, which is huge. Like, not expected to miss a ton of time. He was already, the night he went out against the Pacers, he was telling the crowd, he was yelling him, "I'll be back, I'll be back," as he, went down. Excuse me, this is the NBA Cup. It's just a hyperextension. It seems like he'll be good back here sooner than later. We don't got to really rehash on how important Wembanyama's been to the Spurs this season. Like, we know what it is.
Do you have audio? I realize I might not have shared.
No, I can't hear
audio. Hold on. I got it. Maybe? Yeah, include sound. Here we go.
Imagine one of your games would be played on Main Street, USA, here at Walt Disney World.
Well, Daisy, the NBA, as you know, is global. We've hosted games all over the world, in Mexico City, Paris, London, Shanghai, and beyond. But to bring a game here to Walt Disney World, well, that took the imagination of one special mouse, with a little, or should I say, a big hand from Santa himself. We're thrilled to see this dream be.
What in the AI was that?
I don't know. That was kind of scary, dude. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was the real Adam Silver. That went from cute to kind of like alarming here a little quick.
It was definitely an AI voice of Adam Silver. That was not a real. Oh, no.
That took a dark turn. All right. Who's falling for you, Justin?
All right. Well, that video was falling for me.
Actually.
Fallen for me is going to be the All-Star voting, but specifically for every team in the East except for the Knicks.
Okay.
All-Star voting is open up now. The dates are the dates that votes will count 3 times, which I think is always so stupid, but whatever. You got two more weekends, January 7th and January 14th, if you want to be voting for your players. The Knicks are the only team in the East with their entire starting 5 on the list for votes currently.
I mean, they are the NBA Cup champions after all. That does make sense.
Yep. No, I mean, look, good for them. The 2 players with the highest, I guess 3 players right now, this has probably changed, but 3 players have over 1 million votes. Luka, Jokic, and Steph are the top 3. Right after that, to round out your top 5 would be SGA and Wemby, which is wild to see Wemby already in the top 5 for votes, like over a Kevin Durant, over a LeBron James, over a James Harden. The dude's a star, and it's already showing.
Oh, yeah. Certified, as I can speak, international superstar, loading up. I mean, yeah, there's a chance Knicks starting 5. Like, I don't think they're all going to make it, obviously, but you got a few in there who are going to make this roster.
Yeah, you got Brunson at a top 3 in the East for votes. Only Giannis and Maxey, hell yeah, have more votes than him.
Maxey should. I'm being a homer. Maxey should have those all-star votes.
So Brunson's at 3, Cat's at 7, OG's at 13, Bridges and Hart at 15 and 16. So
I think that probably reflects their likelihood of making it. Yeah. Like, I think Brunson is going to make it. I think Towns will make it. Sure. I think OG's got a good argument to make it. I don't know if he will, but I think OG is a really good argument to make the All-Star team this year.
Is it surprising? I guess the first one that surprises me, at least on the East for votes, would be number 8, Jalen Johnson for the Hawks. I don't see Trey on here.
So only because he's a household name, I think that'll be more surprising. Jalen Johnson's been great. Like, I'm glad he's getting considerations. He really should be. And here's the thing, Justin, Trey Young shouldn't be getting all-star votes this year. If we're being honest, Trey Young should not be getting all-star votes this year. He's not been good.
No, I know, but you know how it is. I mean, just from his star name, his name alone, I figured he would get votes.
Beyond the guys we mentioned, like, because Giannis will be a lock, Jaylen Brown will be a lock, Cade will be a lock, Tyrese Maxey will be a lock, Donovan Mitchell should be a lock, probably.
Yeah.
And then after that is where it starts to get like, I think Durant from Detroit should have a really good chance of making it, but I don't know if he'll have the household name recognition yet. Then you get in some names. It's the mix of names and younger guys, like, guys like Bam, is more of a household name, is on the fence. Jalen Johnson, who you mentioned, the Orlando guy. I mean, Franz got hurt, so that takes a little bit away from that. But it's like you put Paolo in there. Giddey should be. Yep. Brandon Ingram probably should be. Michael Porter should be. You're right. Porter's had a hell of a bounce back here. He actually looks pretty good in Brooklyn right now. Yeah. Kind of like
Pascal being at 9. I get it. He's the star on the team right now, but like Indy, bro, you guys
tough going in the wrong. I mean, look, we know what it is. Certainly going in the wrong direction though. But all right, should we switch gears here a little bit? Get into some Immaculate Grid.
Let's do it.
All right, and of course, you can always watch the Immaculate Grids on YouTube. Just search Driving Dish NBA podcast. For the podcast listeners, our columns this week from left to right, we got the Rockets, the Clippers, and 10 rebounds a game per season. Our rows from top to bottom, we got the Nuggets, we got the Hawks, and we got all NBA. This is actually a pretty fitting grid right now, I feel like. I feel like there's a lot of what we talked about this episode, so that works. Wow, all right. I'm really tired of doing 10 rebounds a game per season, too. I mean, it is what it is, but, like, grid, can we just do any other statistical category, please? Like,
do you think Birdman had it for the Nuggets?
No, I don't think he had 10 rebounds a game for the Nuggets. He wasn't playing starting minutes. Like, that's the problem.
That's fair.
10 rebounds a game for the Nuggets. Like, Mutombo, Jokic. I wonder if Nurk had it for a year.
Oh, maybe. Probably, honestly.
I would think there's a chance. I mean, it's like Jokic, and then Kenneth Faried is the other one.
Faried? Didn't Faried end up on the Clippers, too?
Probably, maybe. I don't know, actually.
Kenneth Faried was a monster to play with in NBA 2K because of his energy level. Like, the dude just was a beast.
Kenneth Faried just is one of those guys that if he played in the 90s and early 2000s, I think would have had an all-NBA career. And he just unfortunately washed out of the league by 29 because he just didn't, like, the game just left him. There's no way around it. Like, his style of play wasn't there anymore. You're right, though. Phenomenal energy guy. Really crashed those boards hard. Am I confident enough to bet my entire grid on it? I don't know. TBD. I'm trying to think of who their bigs were like during the Carmelo Anthony eras. I know Kenyon Martin was there for a little bit.
Martin's a good one. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, like Kenyon Martin, I think could be low there. He's real borderline 10, but he was in the Nuggets for a while. Like he was in those like AI years too, when it was AI and Melo playing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, Melo would work for actually he would work for Rockets too, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Melo would work for Nuggets and Rockets. Melo would work. No, he played for the Clippers, did he?
Didn't he play for? I thought didn't he go to the Clippers after the Lakers, or was that Lakers his last stop?
I thought the Lakers were his last stop. He was.
All right.
He was Blazers, Rockets. Who else did he play for besides the obvious ones? Like I'm not gonna, Denver, New York, obviously.
Yeah, Denver,
OKC.
New York. Okay,
I don't think he was on the Clippers.
I could have sworn he got to the Clippers, but okay.
He was on the Lakers for sure.
He wasn't there with Kawhi and Harden at all, and Paul George.
No.
Okay. All right.
All right. Our guy, Kenny Martin, who we just mentioned, I think actually works for this entire top row. I'm not sure he was on the Clippers 100%, but I'm pretty sure he's on the Rockets. I know he's on Denver.
I bet we could do Kenyon Martin for 10 rebounds and it would be low.
I think that's the lowest where he'd be, without a doubt. I mean, Melo's going to be the number one answer for Nuggets. And
Kenyon Martin.
Yeah, top one.
Yeah. Hell
beautiful. Well, 2%. Wow, I'm even surprised they got that. Damn.
A Knicks jersey on him too, isn't it?
I thought that was a sub one. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of disappointed.
All right. So
Dikembe Mutombo also works for Hawks 10 rebounds a game per season.
Yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo also probably works for all NBA 10 rebounds a game per season. If we really want to, because I definitely think he probably got used a lot in Denver. Yeah,
you want to do him down here?
If we want to do him down there, I'm down for that. Now, full disclosure, I'm taking a swing here. There's a chance he didn't make all NBA. I feel confident. Yeah. Okay, nice point. I swear 1 year he would have had to have snuck a third team or something like that. Actually, I want to look that up now. Let's see.
All right. So, do we think when Lou Will got All NBA the year he won Sixth Man?
No, I think he was maybe got votes, but I don't think he got All NBA.
Okay.
Yeah, I like where your head's at though. Mutombo had it 3 times, by the way. He was All NBA third team that year with the Sixers in 01, 02. He was All NBA second team with Atlanta, and he was All NBA third team also with Atlanta in 97, 98.
I'm throwing a wild card out there because I don't think he works for any of these teams. Only because I can't remember, but Rondo?
No, Rondo definitely, I think, works for Atlanta in the
Clippers.
No, did he play for Atlanta?
I don't know. That's where I'm kind of fuzzy on it. I don't think he works for any of them, honestly.
He does for other combo. He never played for Denver. He for sure played for the Rockets, right?
Dude, I'm telling you, I was like, I thought his name, and I'm like, oh yeah, he played for all these teams, and then I was like, wait, he might not have played for any of these teams. He
played for the Clippers for sure because we used him on Grid, and I was surprised by it.
I don't know. And see, I can't even fully confidently say Clippers. So
Clippers, I can confidently say, God, I'm trying to remember Atlanta. I feel like he played in Atlanta, and if he played in Atlanta, he would work obviously there.
My initial reaction was to say him for that. Now, I don't feel confident at all. Because again, once I thought about it, I was like, wait, I don't think he's been on any of these teams. So
I'm gonna vibes check it. You know what? Let's do it. Do it for Atlanta and Clippers. I think Rondo works. We're pulling up early, but I'm vibes checking here. I like our chance. He definitely played for the Clippers. And if you feel like he played for Atlanta, like it.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson, does he work for anybody?
I don't care. If Brooklyn was here, I'd be all over.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he did play. Okay.
5%. Wow, nice. Okay. All right, so All NBA, Rockets, 10 rebounds a game per season. All NBA is going to be easy for these teams, so I don't really want. We can do that last.
Yao.
Yeah.
Blake.
Rockets is Yao, McGrady, Chris Paul, Harden. I mean, for Clippers, Chris Paul, Blake. The real question is DeAndre. Did DeAndre get all one? I feel like he might have
last week, and he did.
I think so too, and that's why I kind of don't want to do it again. I feel like we're kind of cheating. DeAndre Jordan's also probably the number one answer for Clippers and Nuggets, just because of his recency there. He won the title in Denver.
Yeah.
All right, who else do we got? Hawks 10 rebounds a game. Hawks Rockets, and Nuggets Rockets.
Did and we used them last time, so maybe not. But did Tiago Splitter ever end up on the Rockets? He was Hawks.
I don't think so. He was on the Hawks for sure.
And then like a Kevin Huerter or because where did he go? He went to the Kings and now he's somewhere else.
No, Huerter was definitely on the Hawks.
Oh, I know. And then he went to the Kings and then he went somewhere else. I can't remember where he is now.
He's been a few teams.
Is he on the Pistons? He's not Pistons.
No. Oh my God. I should know this. I can't believe I lost track of him.
He just like recently.
I know. No, it's this year.
Yeah. No, I know. He had a big shot
too. He's on the Bulls, isn't he?
Bulls. That's it. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yep. Bulls.
Russell Westbrook is also going to be really high for Nuggets and Clippers, and Nuggets and Rockets. Honestly, Russell Westbrook works on either of those.
And Carmelo works for
the first
Nuggets. Nuggets Clips. No, Nuggets Rockets. Right.
Yep.
Nuggets Rockets. What about Gordon for Rockets? Did he ever end up on an all NBA team, you think?
No, he did. I would say he was on the Clippers. It's a shame he doesn't work there. He would definitely work for the player combo. No, I mean Rockets all NBA guys. I'm trying to think of like
T-Mac.
No, T-Mac definitely did. I'm trying to think of like Steve Francis, guys like that. I mean, I think Yao and T-Mac are good, solid, no question answers for the Rockets. I think that Harden is also an easy answer there. I think Chris Paul is probably an easy answer there. My sneaky one, who we haven't mentioned at all, honestly, who I think he probably snuck an all-NBA team at least once, right? Would be, I would hope in Houston, would be Dwight Howard, maybe.
Oh, Dwight Howard.
Yeah, he was on. Dwight after the Lakers tent. He did. He was on Atlanta as well.
He was on Atlanta.
I think he'll be high there. I think he won't be as high for Rockets and All NBA.
You think he got All NBA with that?
Definitely. I think he was still good, like Dwight, the first at least year or two there, and then it started to like fall off cliff pretty quick.
Sure.
But I think Dwight snuck it there.
Okay. All right. You want Dwight here?
Yeah, I think Dwight for Rockets All NBA.
He had a pretty.
I think he'll be much higher.
Did you see
he'll be
you see his comment the other day?
Yeah, about mandatory military service.
Yeah, I was like, bro,
that's very nice. That's very nice of Dwight to say when he's aged out of mandatory military service. Like, great. Right. Like, I understand the point, but like, no, Dwight Howard. I'm not making everyone in America sign up for military service.
Okay. So, not.
Yeah, 1%. By the way, I'm pumped about that.
Not Kenneth Faried.
Oh, Clint Capella is going to be a high answer for Rockets and Clippers, or Rockets and Hawks too. That'll be a really high answer.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Was Christian Wood a part of that? Where was
Christian Wood? I think Christian Wood was definitely on the Rockets, and I'm pretty sure he's on the Nuggets, and I want to say he was on the Hawks as well. And so you tell me, because I honestly, like, that dude was in so many teams, and I really honestly remember him being on both of them.
Who was Nene? He ended up on the
Rockets.
He ended up on the Rockets.
Oh, I'm so with it if he ended on the Rockets.
I'm almost positive he ended up on the Rockets.
I think he did too. I'm good with Nene at the top. I loved Nene in NBA 2K.
Yes, that's what I was just thinking. 2K teams. Yes.
Nice, dude. Wild. Shout out to my guy, Nene.
Yeah, Nene.
All right. Dude, that's great. I love that. Again, you're watching the Immaculate Grid. Listen to the Immaculate Grid. We're 5 for 5 so far. We got the little checkerboard going on right now.
Did Ish Smith ever end up with the Hawks? Because I'm pretty sure he was on the Rockets.
Probably. I mean, Ish is fully in the probably. Vince Carter never did. Jeff Green probably did as well, I'm assuming.
Dude, the Hawks, and we never mentioned like Al Horford or Johnson.
For 10 rebounds. For 10 rebounds a game per season. Oh, I thought you were talking about for the Rockets. I'm like, what?
No, well, in general. What about Smith? Was it Joe Smith? We used him last week? Josh Smith. He never ended up with the Rockets, but he also
Josh did it. Josh absolutely ended up with the Rockets. He would definitely work there. Yeah, I don't know if I wanted to do back-to-back Josh Smith weeks, but honestly, it's probably pretty low there. I think I'm with it.
You want to do it?
For Rockets and Hawks, yeah, he's probably too borderline for me to bet on 10 rebounds a game per season. I think he's probably closer there than we would think.
Josh Smith?
I'm fine doing Josh Smith there. Oh, I think it'll be better. I know it'll work there. Put it that way.
6. Okay, 6 isn't bad. I'll take it.
Josh Smith weeks, nice.
I think he was in that spot as well, too, that middle spot.
Yeah. All right. Hawks 10 rebounds a game per season. Let's just close the Hawks out. Horford, Millsap, even though I don't think
Splitter.
No way. Splitter's come off the bench.
What about what's his name who just got traded? Jackson Johnson. Who was there? Who was with Trey?
Oh, John Collins?
Collins, yeah.
Man.
I know.
Dude, that God's tough because he's a power forward. That's the only reason I'm like even hesitating a little bit. But he could have, honestly, like that conference finals run, he was really good. And he was a good rebounder. Dude, my takes there, I think we either go, because Horford's going to be the obvious answer, or Mutombo. Mutombo would have been the obvious answer there too. I think we either go with one of the two guys that we mentioned. I either think we put Capella there because he's so high in Atlanta versus Houston, or I think you go John Collins. I think if you want to throw it back a little bit and go Collins, I'm okay with that a little bit as well. Because Capella's been there recently. Yeah. And Capella's such a traditional big that I feel like he'll be higher. So I'm okay going John Collins.
You want to go Collins?
Yeah.
2%.
Nice, dude. 2%. All right.
Okay. Clips, All NBA, Clips, Denver.
Clips, Denver, like we said, there are two easy answers. The two easy answers are Russ and DeAndre Jordan. Both of them work. Both I think are going to be high, but they both work.
Does Swaggy P work?
Oh man, I don't remember if he's on Denver. He definitely was on the Clippers.
He was on Denver, but for like 2 games. I'm almost positive. In like 2019, 2020, something like that, he played like 4 games. This was after all the drama. I only know it because we had to talk about it. I'm almost positive he ended up on Denver.
Okay, I believe you. I truly you trusted me on you trusted me on some questionable guesses today. I'm trusting you on this questionable guess. I don't know.
I think his last year was with Denver. I believe you. He did like 3 games with them.
I'm so nervous. Yeah, nice.
I gotta look that up. Hold on, Swaggy P.
Oh, you're a madman. No, don't do it on that screen. Don't do it on that screen.
Why?
No, because everybody can see it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna look it up for us. I was gonna pull it up. Nick Young teams. Sure. Yeah. Nick Young, Denver.
Wow, was Denver. Games. You're right. 4 games in Denver at the end of his career, 2018, 2019.
Golden State, too, is a little sneaky.
See, I remember him playing with Golden State. I do actually remember that.
Lakers, Philly, Washington.
He won a ring with Golden State, I think.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think 17, 18 they won.
The year? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was one of the KD years.
Yeah, Golden State, Philly, Clippers, Denver, Lakers.
Yeah, good for you pulling Denver. I would have never pulled that Denver. I remember the Lakers.
Yeah, it was like
the Lakers is that gif. The Lakers is that gif of him shooting the shot and him throwing his arms up and it rimming out.
Well, the Lakers was the drama with what was it?
With D'Angelo Russell and Iggy Azalea.
I wanted to say Clarkson, but that's not right.
No. Iggy Azalea and D'Angelo Russell and Nick Young.
Now, the only issue I have... Okay, there we go. I was going to say, now the only issue I have is I can't get back to my screen share because it was... Up
oh, yeah. No, I thought you might X us out there for a second, too.
Well, that's what I was worried about.
All right. Clippers All-NBA. Kawhi, Blake, Chris Paul. I'm trying to think of like
Marcus Camby. Was he ever on the Clippers?
I think he was. I don't think he was making all NBA.
I don't think he was making it either.
Dude, respecting Marcus Camby's on Nuggets too. He might actually work for Nuggets. Oh man, he might work there. Damn.
Well, there's no way we get less than a 0.1 with Nick Young, but
no, you're Marcus not wrong. Nick Young's a great pull there.
Birdman.
God, I don't think.
Do we think? Oh no, never mind. We're not doing Nuggets anymore. Okay.
I don't think Elton Brand ever made all NBA teams on the Clippers.
Well, I feel like
Harden, who else is there?
Harden, Kawhi. Like I feel like those guys got it right.
Paul George. They got to do it with the team though, right?
Right. They probably did it right.
Oh, you know what? Well, I don't think Harden did. Just because it's so late. Harden's the one I'm worried about.
Who? No, not Beal.
No, Beal would have been late. Beal would have at some point.
Yeah.
Kawhi definitely did. Paul George, I'm like, because there's only 15 all NBA spots, and Paul George, I'm a little more like wary of. Chris Paul is obvious. Blake is obvious.
Chris Paul, Blake, DeAndre.
Harden. Yeah, I don't think Harden made it there, man.
Who would have been after those guys?
Unless he did. Did he? He didn't last year, did he? Right.
What about the year? Who once? What about the year they went to the playoffs? Like they didn't have any star, but they went to the playoffs. They were like decent. That's what anybody of those random dudes like?
No, that's what I'm trying to remember. Like I don't think they were.
I feel like Austin Reeves would have worked for like Clippers, Hawks.
Oh, Austin Rivers, you mean?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, bro, Reeves has only been on the Lakers. I'm like, we mean home, bro.
No. Yeah, Rivers. I feel like Rivers would have worked.
I don't know. I mean, we talked about Kawhi. Do you want to just round it out with Kawhi?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Harden is interesting because now I feel like Harden. Whatever. We'll come back to it. I'll look that up after this.
Kawhi worked 16% though. Is kind of surprising.
See, that's okay because with Chris and with Blake there, I think that's that took a lot away from it.
Okay.
Let me check Harden did. Son of a darn it. He made the third team last year.
There's 11 of them. Hold on. Let's see. So Harden, Kawhi, Paul George, Jordan.
Paul George did. Wow.
Chris Paul, Blake, Elton Brand, Wilkins, World Be Free.
Damn. Wow. Okay. See, even before that, McAdoo makes sense in hindsight. He's their boomer there. I am surprised Elton made it. I thought Elton didn't make it. That is good to know for the future. All right. So we want to scroll down to most popular answers on Immaculate Grid.
22 for the Hawks, 10 rebounds, kind of surprising.
I totally believe that.
Oh, I guess because it can double up on.
Yeah, Jalen this year. Yeah, Capella, Dwight. That checks. He kind of started.
Sneaky.
Al Horford only had 1 year. That's crazy. Mutombo, we mentioned. Yeah. Moses Malone. That's a good one for way back. Truck Robinson, love it. Classic 70s guy. Bob Pettit's their OG. He'd be an OG high one.
But this is worth mentioning. I don't think we talked about Al and them. Oh, Al is there. Okay.
No, I was there. No, yeah. I'm surprised he only did 1 year. I thought for sure he'd done it like 2 or 3 years there.
John Collins only did it 1 year too.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, really good pull then. Yeah, Capella. I think Capella's probably the top answer. We haven't looked at it yet.
I came here looking for Tiago Splitter and did not find what I was looking for.
No, I hate to say it. All right. Top answers on.
Okay, Lou did work for Hawks, Clippers.
That makes okay. So top answers this week on Immaculate Grid for Nuggets and Rockets is Carmelo Anthony. For Nuggets and Clippers is Russell Westbrook. For Nuggets 10 boards a game per season is Nikola Jokic. For Rockets and Hawks, Clint Capella. For Rockets and Clippers, Lou Williams. For Hawks and Clippers, Lou Williams. For Hawks and Rockets, Clint Capella. For Hawks and 10 rebounds a game per season, Dikembe Mutombo. Got to slow things down sometimes. For Rockets on All-NBA, Hakeem Olajuwon. For Clippers All-NBA, Chris Paul. For All-NBA, 10 rebounds a game per season, we got Shaquille O'Neal. Our grid one last time, Rockets and Nuggets, Nene. Nuggets and Clippers, Nick Young. What a pull. I love that. For Nene, too, honestly.
It's so they have him in a Warriors jersey, too, it looks like.
That's so funny. Kenyon Martin for Nuggets, 10 rebounds a game per season. Josh Smith for Hawks and Rockets. Rajon Rondo for Hawks and Clippers. John Collins for Hawks, 10 rebounds a game per season. Dwight Howard for All-NBA Rockets. Kawhi Leonard for All-NBA Clippers. Dikembe Mutombo for All-NBA, 10 rebounds a game per season. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. Appreciate you guys, as always. Leave us a review on iTunes, good or bad. I'll read them on the podcast. If you're not an Apple user, anywhere you find a podcast, you can find us.
And we're on YouTube, Drive and Dish NBA on YouTube. You can watch video versions of the podcast. Subscribe and you'll get notifications when new episodes are coming out.